Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing the How Well Do You Know Your Books challenge, and yeah, very excited to do this. This is the most kind of like booktube video I think I've actually ever made, in terms of like not book reviews and TBRs and stuff, so I'm very excited to do this. I asked some people on Twitter to send me numbers and people actually did. Like, I have friends now and that's very exciting to me because I love this community and it's just so much fun. But yeah, I'm gonna quickly look up the questions and then we will get into the video. Okay, I found them, we're all good, so let me just get up the numbers quickly because I need that as well, and I'm obviously not very good at this. The first numbers were sent to me by Ella at Wondrous Pages, and they are 6 and 15, and the question is, without looking at the description, tell us what this book is about. Okay, so 6 and 15. This is kind of an easy one because I've just read this, but I got And I Darken by Kirsten White. This is a historical fiction, it's YA, it's set in a very intriguing world. We follow the main character, Lada, who has kind of grown up in a world where people both underestimate her and are absolutely terrified of her. She's very brutal, she's very intense, and I've never read a book about a character like Lada, but basically we follow Lada and her brother as they are sent to another country, another place, be basically pawns in her father's political life. So it's very intriguing. There's a lot of political intrigue in here, there's a lot of romance. It's very, very cool, and I would definitely recommend it if you are looking for a dark historical fiction with, I guess, some fantasy elements in it. But yeah, amazing book. So the next question is, without looking it up, what is the genre of this book? And Anais sent me 7 and 14. So I have The Wicked King by Holly Black. This is a YA fantasy. It's kind of like urban fantasy. It deals with fae and the fairy world. It's incredible. It's such an interesting and well-loved series, and yeah, definitely fantasy, but very twisted, and I really enjoy this series, so can't wait to finish it up with Queen of Nothing. But fantasy, urban fantasy. So the next question is, without looking at the book, tell us what's on the cover. This is one that I am a little bit worried about, and Jules sent me 5 and 5. So can I use my book? Does that count? Looking at the cover, this is Falcons of Fire and Ice, and I feel like, I mean, obviously the cover is blue, there's some icy aspects to it in the colour, but I believe there is a falcon, it is on fire, there's a very traditional historical fantasy font, and I think the font is quite large, and then like I said, there's the bird on fire. Yeah, okay, I would give myself that, that's pretty accurate. Like, the font, very traditional, like historical fantasy font. There's the falcon on fire, but yeah, I'll give myself that one. Again, I knew there was like the icy background and then the fire, so I'll give that one. That can be a win. So this one again is one that I'm worried about, and it is, without looking it up, what is the main character's name? And for this one, Faye gave me 6 and 12. So Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. I know that this is like, oh, so many people like this book and I haven't read it yet, and I remember that the character has, I feel like it's not like a very common name, but it's still not crazy. I have no idea. I honestly have no idea. I remember reading the synopsis recently because I was going to pick it up and I still have no idea, so I'm just going to go with what's like a kind of Bran. It's not Bran, but let's go with Bran. Spencer. I knew it was, oh, so annoying. Her name is Spencer. I'm really mad at myself. Like, Bran was like, I knew that wasn't right. I just couldn't get the name Bran out of my head, so I had to say it. But like, I should have known it was Spencer, but I'm mad at myself for that one. So the next one is, without looking it up, name a side character, and for this one, Sydney sent me 3 and 7. It's at the top, I'm not going to take it out. It's The Last Kingdom by Bernard Cornwell. I have no idea what. Okay, let's make a educated guess, judging by the time period and likely what the character's going to be called. I'm going to go with Björn. There's got to be a Björn in there because it's If there's not a Björn in there, I'm going to be absolutely livid, but let's have a look. Oh my god, are you telling me there's not a Björn? Are you serious? Oh my god, I should have said Ivar. Ivar's in it. I'm mad. Like, there's literally every name I could have picked, and I was trying to be clever. I was like, I'll pick one that probably isn't like the most likely to be said, but I actually just shot myself in the foot because there's not a Björn in there. I'm so angry. I'm literally livid. There's like every other name I could have picked and would have picked apart from the one I picked. So there's no Björn in here. So let's just move on. Okay, so the next one is guess how many pages the book has without looking, and if you're 25 pages above or under, then you can count it as a win. And for this one, Farida gave me 14 and 14, so yeah. For this one, I got Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon. I have read this. I don't remember how many pages it is, but I'm gonna guess 350. I don't think it's 300, so I'm gonna go in the middle. But I feel like I'm probably going to be a bit high, so I don't think I'm going to get this right, but it's 304 pages. I was doing so well at the beginning of this video, and now I'm failing really badly, but it's 304 pages. So the next one is without looking it up, what rating did you give this book? And if you haven't read it, then pick another number. So for this one, we have 7 and 11, and that was sent to me by Lilybeth, so 7 and 11. Priory of the Orange Tree. Everyone knows I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. Doesn't even need to be questioned really. I'll leave my review for this book somewhere, but 5 out of 5 stars. The next one is without looking, where did this book take place? And for this one I got 8 and 13. So for this one I got Deck of Omens by Christine Lynn Herman, and this takes place in America. It takes place in, what is it called? I literally just read this book, why can I not think? I feel like it's just gone out of my head because I'm trying to think about it because I know this. 4 Paths. It takes place in 4 Paths. It takes place in 4 Paths. I'm literally like, I was trying to think of it. I was trying so hard to think that it just like flew out of my head, but 4 Paths. So the next one is without looking, what are the parents' names? This one I'm going to do appallingly at because half the time I don't even know the parents' names. They're not like, you don't get told parents' names, so I don't know. But for this one I got 7 and 7, and this was sent to me by Caroline, so 7 and 7. I know Maddock. I don't know what their mum's name was. I can't remember. Well, it's not her mum. Maddock is not their dad, but they kind of think of them as their dad. I don't remember what their parents actually were called, but I'm gonna say Maddock because I can't think what their actual parents are called, but we know him and he kind of like forcibly adopted them, so yeah. Let me Google and see what their actual parents' names were because I cannot remember for the life of me. Okay, you know what, it doesn't say on the internet what their parents' names were, but I'm going to give myself half a point for Maddock because it'll do, okay, it'll do. The next one is without looking, what colour is the hardback under the dust jacket? And for this one I got 18 and 7. Bridge of Clay by Marcus Zuzak. I'm not going to take it off of my TBR cart because then I will see what colour the hardback is, but I believe it's black. I'm going with black. Let's see. Is black. I haven't read this yet because it makes sense why it's on my TBR card, but I had a feeling it was black, and it is. The hardcover is black. So the next question is, without looking, is there an imprint or anything on the hardback under the dust jacket? And for this one I got 18 and 3. This one I got Beyond a Darkened Shore by Jessica Leek. This is one of my favourite books of all time. I really need to get the sequel because this book is just incredible and it's so atmospheric. Like, if I think about this book I can remember how the world feels. I don't know if that sounds really weird, but hopefully you guys know what I mean. But I don't think there's anything on the hardback. I take my dust jackets off when I read books and I don't remember there being anything on this one, so. And I was correct, there's nothing on here. Blankety blank, so another point for me. Next one is without looking what colour is the font on the hardcover, and for this one I got 2 and 11. This one I got The Boy on the Wooden Box by Leon Layson. This is a historical fiction and I have no idea what colour the font is on the hardback of this. I read this when I was like 14, so I have no idea, but I'm gonna guess silver. Probably wrong, bet it'll be gold, but I'm gonna guess silver. It is silver. There we go. Back on a roll. So the next question is, without looking, does the book have chapter titles or are they just numbered? And for this one I have 7 and 2. For this one I have Fate of the Fallen by Calcade, another one of my favourite books, and I don't remember it having chapter titles. I'm pretty sure it just has numbers. They're just numbered. I got another one right. I'm quite proud of myself for getting as many as I have done so far. So the next one is, without looking at the book cover, does it have an award on it? And for this one I have 18 and 12. Looking, we have The Last Voyage of Poe Blythe by Ali Condé, and I don't think this has an award stamp on it because I got this book when it first came out and I feel like there's nothing on it, so yes. There is no award stamp on this edition, so no. Next question is, without looking, does the cover have any author blurbs on it? And for this one I have 7 and 12. So again we have The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black, and I think there's a quote on it, but there's not like actual blurbs on the front cover. No, so there is a quote at the top from Victoria Aveyard, but there are no actual blurbs on this, so I'm not gonna count that as a blurb. It's a quote, so well, yeah. The next question is, without looking, does the book have a description on the back? And for this one I have the numbers 13 and 5. So for this one I have the Hobbit graphic novel, and yes, I believe there is a description on the back of this one. Yes, description. So the next question is, without looking, does this book have an author photo in it? And for this one I have 4 and 17. So for this one I got Passing for White by Tanya Landman, and no, I do not believe this has a author photo in it. No, there is no author photo in this one. So the next one is, without looking, does this author use a pen name? And for this one I have 18 and 14. For this one I have The Mermaid and Mrs. Hancock, and this is by Imogen Hurwitz-Gower, who does not use a pen name. So the next one is, without looking, is this book written in first, second or third person? So we have The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett, and I believe this is written in third person. I've not read it, but I have a feeling it is. It is. So the next question is, without looking, are there any pictures or graphics in this book? So we have the Robert Frederick edition of Peter Pan, and I believe that this is illustrated. And it is. So then we have, without looking, does it have an epilogue? We have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I'm going to say that this does have an epilogue. I don't know, I haven't finished it, but I'm going to guess that it does. Well, it has kind of an epilogue. I'm not going to count it, but there are some chapters at the end that are not part of the main story, I guess, but I'm not going to count it. So the next one is, without looking, does this book have a prologue? And we have Daisy Jones and the Six. I'm going to say yes, and not quite believe myself. Yes, it does kind of have a prologue. I am going to count this one. It's not called prologue, but I think it counts. The next question is, without looking, is this book signed? And yes, A Conference of Birds, and it's signed. As you can see, it says signed copy on the front, and it's signed, so super exciting. So the next one is, without looking, are there page number designs above or below the number? And for this one we have The Night Circus. I'm going to say yes. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I first started this book. I never finished it, but I don't remember them. I'm going to say there is. I don't remember that there were, but I'm going to imagine that there probably are, so I'm going to say yes. Okay, there's not. Okay, so the next one is, without looking, are the acknowledgements at the end or the beginning of the book? This one I have A Single Stone by Meg McKinley. I'm going to say that the acknowledgements are at the end of the book. They're literally on the last page of the book, so they are at the end. So the next one is Without Looking, what year was this book published? This one we have The Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. I can't remember, but I'm gonna say 2018 because it was recently, but I don't think it was the last year, so 2018. Yes, 2018. I'm proud of myself. So the last question is, Without Looking, when did you read this book? So we have 101 Dalmatians by Dodie Smith. I read this 2018 when we were on holiday in Croatia, is when I read this book. So that was all of the questions. This video, the raw footage of this video is over half an hour long, so hopefully I will be able to condense it a little bit, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was very fun to make. I've now got a giant stack of books to put away again, even though I just reorganised my bookshelves, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see future videos from me, and you'll see me in the next one. Bye guys.